Polls are giving a look at how Americans might or might not use the N95 masks and at-home COVID tests the Biden administration is providing to the whole country. James Druckman, a fellow at Northwestern's Institute for Policy and Research, joins us now to talk about these findings. Thanks for being with us. James, this survey asked 2,000 Americans lots of questions. Let's start with what you learned about masks.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me. I think there are two things that stand out about what we learned about masks. One, which might not be that surprising, is mask wearing has dropped precipitously over the course of the pandemic in the last few months. So about 56% of people now say they regularly wear a mask, and that's down from about 80% during last winter, during the roughest time of the pandemic. The other really interesting aspect of what we found concerns the N95 masks. And as some of you might know, on January 14th, the CDC changed their guidelines so that they opened up the possibility of wearing N95 or KN95 masks to the general public. And prior to that, it had been not recommended to do that because they were trying to preserve them for health workers. It turns out that right now only about 20% of people are wearing K95 or KN95 or N95 masks, largely due to inability to get it. But a vast majority do realize that they are a safer mask, and so we might see an uptick in people using them as they get access to them.
So a little bit of mask confusion. Did it surprise you that the percentage of people wearing masks has gone down? Is that COVID fatigue? You would think, this far in, it's becoming just kind of a fact of life.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a mix of COVID fatigue and also some confusing messaging. If you look at the CDC messaging over time, you see at the start of the pandemic, there was not wearing masks, and then there was wearing cloth masks indoors, and then there was wearing cloth masks indoors or outdoors. And then in the last summer, they kind of backtracked a little bit and said to wear them inside only in high transmission areas. And then there was really not much discussion of it until this latest announcement on January 14th. So I think there's definitely been some confusion. And in fact, in prior surveys, we were finding that people thought the CDC was recommending that the general public wear KN95 or N95 masks, when in fact they weren't saying that yet. So I think it's been a little bit hard to follow what the advice is. And then there also is certainly the fatigue factor and the fact that we did go through a period where none of us were really wearing masks regularly for about a month over the summer.
What else did you find out about the way Americans felt about the CDC, about Dr. Fauci?
Trust in the CDC and Dr. Fauci has been pretty level throughout throughout the pandemic. I mean, there's been a pretty large partisan divide on that. It remains, majority have faith in the CDC and Dr. Fauci, but you see Democrats have overwhelming trust and faith in them, whereas Republicans have very low levels of faith and trust.
So it plays along the political lines then.
Yeah.
Let me ask about the at-home tests. I understand that has sort of skewed the official count by how much?
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, so there's been a lot of concern that it's been a dramatic skew, in fact, because if people get at-home tests and they test positive, and then they don't follow up and get a PCR test or an antigen test, then they don't go into the official records as being a positive COVID case. And so there's been a lot of concern that we have vastly undercounted. So in our surveys, we asked people if they had taken a positive home test and then if they followed up or not. And we found about 31% said that they tested positive at home and then they didn't follow up. And in fact, not following up, a lot of states for a period were telling people not to follow up if they tested positively at home. So they weren't necessarily going against guidelines. But when we put all this together, we calculated that it's only about a 6% or so undercount of the number of positive cases. So it's not as dramatic as some people feared, but certainly is a little bit of an undercount because the at-home tests are not being registered into official records.
Overall, a lot of interesting findings. James Druckman with the Northwestern Institute for Policy. Thanks for your time tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Still ahead, first the Bears, now the Blackhawks begin the interview process for a general manager. Josh Friedman has details coming up in sports.
Also a